When we think about leadership, this is what comes to mind. We picture someone with great charisma, someone leading a group of people toward a goal. But that's not really the case because history has shown us that there are different theories, different approaches, and that there are people who motivate and inspire us in various fields, like hospitals, tech companies, and education. So today I have a very special surprise for you because I'm going to share 5 approaches that will help and inspire us to develop better adaptability strategies, allowing us to see things from a completely different perspective. Welcome. My name is Ali Arizmendi, and I hope you have fun with these 5 tools I'm going to share with you today about leadership. Our first approach is the transformational approach, where the leader instills motivation so that the whole group works toward a common goal. It's like when a principal or a teacher gets all the students to learn for a single reason, or when everyone in a group, through a leader, tries to innovate, using technology, that same group, for one shared purpose. But this approach has its problems. And what is this problem? It's that when the leader isn't there, many people no longer want to work for that common purpose. They lose sight of the vision, they feel tired, with a sense of agony about continuing with this approach. So this is one of the problems. One of the people who studied this approach the most was Peter Norhaus. 2022. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Adaptive, authentic, and situational leadership in the healthcare sector. When we talk about this, whenever we think of hospitals, we see that it's a super professional job that requires a lot of sacrifice and a lot of empathy. But if you remember, when all of this happened, the whole COVID thing, we realized, wow, you had to adapt to a lot of situations, to the crisis and everything that was happening at that time, and adjust the work to different types of protocols. One of the people who expanded on and researched this approach the most was Hayfest 2009. We're talking about authentic leadership within this approach. We're referring to all the ethical practices that people working in this field must carry out, and how the leader should promote all these ethical, autonomous practices where people feel confident to speak the truth, to say things as they really are, and feel safe. To wrap up, situational leadership is very common here in the healthcare sector, since people have to move from one place to another, and the leader must ensure that procedures are regulated and adjusted to the different places where each person goes. So this was the focus, the second approach, which is called the adaptive, authentic, and situational leadership approach in the healthcare sector. Also, one of the people who did a lot of research on this approach was Norhaus in 2022. Transformational leadership, coaching, and path goal in the business sector. In the business world, competition, innovation, and strategy always go hand in hand. Organizations thrive and always need leaders who are capable of inspiring, guiding, and developing high-performance teams. And this is divided into 3. First, we have transformational leadership, which we already talked about earlier, where the leader is able to being visionary, inspiring, getting others committed to a shared mission for high daily tasks, and greatly encouraging creativity, driving change, aligning everyone so that all efforts are unified, and making sure individual efforts always go directly toward the vision. And this was also expanded upon by Norhaus. 2022. Second, we have coaching leadership. This style focuses on the continuous development of talent, rather than just assigning tasks or saying, do this. No, that's not it. These leaders always support employees in clearly defining objectives so that they are achievable, and they provide feedback. This is super important, constant feedback. They create opportunities for personal and professional growth, meaning different kinds of training sessions. This practice not only boosts individual performance, but also strengthens the entire organizational culture within the company. So this goes directly toward the company's goal. And finally, in the business world, we have what's called path goal leadership. This style is focused on and uses strategies that are entirely centered on objectives. Here, the leader tries to remove all the obstacles in the way of the objectives, to make the goals clear, to ensure the environment is completely clear, and in addition to that, the leader provides all the resources employees need and tries to meet the needs that employees have. These leaders who work with this approach exclusively within the business sector make sure that productivity and motivation grow and remain sustainable. One of the people who expanded on this approach was House in 1971. Technology sector: inclusive, transformational, and adaptive leadership. The technology sector moves extremely fast. Every day, new tools, new platforms, and innovations emerge that completely transform everything. The way we work, the way we communicate, everything is sped up. Leaders must be able to foster creativity, keep the team aligned, and adapt to the rapid pace of constant change, because in technology, changes happen all the time. Inclusive leadership, which is also present in this sector, is key since technology is something global, something diverse. Technology teams are usually made up of people from different cultures, disciplines, and perspectives. An inclusive leader creates a space where all voices are heard and valued. And one of the people who expanded on this approach was Michi Mayer in 2009. Transformational leadership also plays a crucial role in driving creativity and establishing a clear vision in technological development. A leader should always motivate and push their team to go beyond the routine, right? To be ambitious people, for example, a transformational leader is someone who inspires the team to develop technology, to revolutionize the industry. This is super important, keeping them focused on the vision, making them even a means of constant change, as Norius always expands on and explains in 2022. And lastly, adaptive leadership is essential for responding quickly to disruptions in technology, whether it's integrating new technologies, dealing with cybersecurity threats, or reacting to market changes. You know the technological competition that always exists? Well, here this person, the leader, needs to stay on top of this, innovate, be flexible when facing problems, and guide the teams. Nonprofit sector: servant, authentic, and transformational leadership. In the world of nonprofit organizations, the leader not only aims to achieve goals, but also to connect deeply with communities and causes. Often, the work is done with little or very limited resources. Many are volunteers, and everyone has a sense of mission. And this is what makes a big difference in this type of leadership. Servant leadership is key here because it puts people's needs first, for example. A director of a community organization who listens directly to families before launching a program. Of course, to know what they're going to do, what the priorities are, and which needs they will focus on. First, they listen to the families, build trust, establish strong relationships, and this approach was expanded by Greenleaf in 2002. Authentic leadership complements this dynamic by promoting transparency and integrity. Imagine a functional leader who openly communicates financial challenges, building trust, honesty, strength, and commitment among donors, because most are trying to establish real credibility. Finally, transformational leadership is the kind that motivates teams to dream big, even with limited resources. For example, an NGO that wants to bring education to rural areas. And to wrap up, it's important to remember that there isn't a single leadership style that works for everything, for every sector: education, health. Business, technology, and nonprofit organizations all face completely different challenges in unique contexts and require entirely different approaches. Leadership styles like transformational, servant, coaching, and even others offer complementary tools to inspire teams and promote innovation and create sustainable change. For example, in education, it's necessary to inspire and innovate. In healthcare, it's crucial. You need to always stay up to date with technology to build credibility and bring agility to processes. So, real transformation is made by leaders. I hope everyone is well. Thank you for listening to this video to the end. Thank you.